Welcome to the Postgame Show presented by the Maroon Club. Every gift matters every year. Join the Maroon Club today, and by Coca-Cola, our player of the game. Enjoy the Coke side of life. Scott Barr is with Coach O'Hanlon, and our player of the game, Nick Lindner.
Coach, you knew coming in that Navy had some matchup problems for the Leopards. In addition to the rebounding and defense, they came out shooting lights out. Just an overall performance by Navy that was tough to beat.
Yeah, well, you know, we let them make shots, you know, and game second and third shots, and when you're going to give a team like that as many opportunities as we did, and we didn't handle the ball as well as we needed to handle the ball. You know, we had to play a really perfect game to be in that game. We had to get off to a good start, which we didn't do.
Now you have a young team that's still growing into the system a little bit, and certainly you got a lot of great time for the underclassmen on this squad. Well,
you know, I mean, it goes quickly, so they got to learn quickly, and they certainly have some opportunities to play and get out there, and we're hoping that they continue to grow and that we'll learn from this, and we'll see, you know.
And what John Leone just said on the air is sometimes the best thing after a game like this, you got one right around the corner against American. How do you get the team back up for that one?
Well, we're going to do our best. Everybody, our leaders have to get us back up, and you know, it's on the road. That they're playing very well as well. So there's no easy games in this. We just have to, you know, get better.
Thanks, Coach. And one of those leaders, Nick Lindner, our Coca-Cola player of the game. Nick, as one of the senior leaders on this team, assess the state of the underclassmen for me a little bit.
I mean, they're clearly working hard in practice and outside of practice, but when it comes time for games, I don't think our mental preparation's there, and I think a lot of that falls on our leadership, and we got to do a better job getting the guys ready to play.
Now, you've been around the Patriot League block a time or two. You know what to expect from these big physical teams. Is that tough to learn for the freshmen?
Certainly it's a learning curve because it's just different from what you see in high school basketball, but like Coach said, we got to learn faster. I mean, the young guys are forced to get in here and play, and these opportunities would be good for them, but we got to learn faster.
Nowhere to go but up from this one.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Gary, back over to you.
All right, Scott, thank you very much for a job well done filling in for Mike Joseph today. John Leone has the highlights, and I'll wrap it all up for you in just a moment.
How about Nick Lindner, though, a true leader, taking responsibility, doing all he can to be sure, but it was too much Midshipmen, too much today. They did it defensively, Gary. They did it shooting the basketball 60%. This young man, Tom Lacey, was everything we thought he would be. And they just made plays. Hassan Abdullah doing a terrific job. I'm sorry, that's Sean Anderson, a terrific acrobatic finish. And how about Doolin? I mean, Doolin was on fire, and we talked about it. They had 9 different players throughout the course of the season have double-figure games. That's not to say that 9 guys have double figures every game, but it could have been any number of Navy players who could step up and produce offensively. As a result, they had 4 guys in double figures, everybody contributing all kinds of ways. Look at the finish by Lacey, and a little step back here, that's Kiernan. Again, you know, you really need a program. Alade with a nice little reverse layup here on a foul. It was tough to keep track of all these players, and watch the finish here again. Tom Lacey putting a little exclamation point on a terrific defensive play, and then Alade with a high percentage layup down the court. Matt Klinowski and the bigs did what they could. That time it was Miles Cherry, the freshman, hitting a couple buckets inside. That one on a nice dish from Nick Lindner. Kyle Stout, time to time. I mean, it's Paul Schalise that time. Nick with a step back right here, knocks one down. But this is what Lafayette needs to do, Gary. They need to move the ball well. Schalise hits another 3. They've got to make shots. They just don't have the physical ability to score consistently, you know, dominate the paint. They don't have that kind of team. That's the kind of team they need to be. Kyle Stout knocks one down, and then Matt Klinowski, always dependable, Gary, putting up his usual numbers.
So not a good day for the Lafayette Leopards. We'll see what they can do when they travel to American. Here's how the numbers all shook out. The Navy 88 points on 35 field goals, 9 for 16 from the field goals, and free throws were 9 for 13 on the day, as they got double figure scoring out of Bryce Doolin, a career high 23 and a career high 5 triples. Abdullah with 15, 12 for Alade, and 13 for Lacey, as Navy shot 60% in today's ball game. They go to 8-10, 3-3 in the Patriot League. For Lafayette, their 51 points came on 19 field goals. They were 6 for 18 from beyond the arc. and they were 7 for 8 from the free throw line. Double figures again out of the two guys that have been doing all the scoring. 16 for Matt Klanuski, led the team in rebounds with 5, and Nick Lindner with 10 points. Lafayette shot just 39% from the floor today. Never led in the ball game, tied it at 2-2, and that was it. Navy rolled out to a 88-51 victory. Lafayette falls to 6-11, 2-4 in the Patriot League.